Good afternoon, folks. Those of you who are signing on, you're in your breakout session number 2, Collaboration and Simplification Using Technology to Enhance Dual Credit Classes. So just make sure you're in the right session. And we have Rachel and Mish who are going to be presenting today, and I will be the host who will open and close. So I look forward to hearing some of this, and I will pass the torch to these wonderful ladies and let them get started.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. I gotta figure out all of my technology. I have multiple screens going here. Here we go. I am Miss Bignell. I have been married to my husband, Doug, for 29 years. I am the mother to Jeffrey and Stephanie, and as you can see, we obviously get to have fun in our family. When we became empty nesters, we adopted our 2 fur babies. This is Callie and right here, and this is Foxy right here. In addition to being a Chihuahua mama, I am college and career readiness specialist at the Excel Center Decatur. I joined the Excel Center as the MOA and as part of the original staff starting the Decatur location, and became the CCR just last year. My background includes 20 plus years of being an educational sign language interpreter, a tutor, and a special education advocate. I also have experience in office administration and human resources development. I have a bachelor's degree in legal studies. I'm also somewhat of a tech geek at heart, love anything creative as far as DIY, gardening, arts and crafts, that kind of thing. The thing I love most about the Excel Center is that it provides me the opportunity to use all of the best features from previous jobs, experiences, and interests to benefit those here at the Excel Center.
Okay. And hello, everyone. My name is Rachel Brown. I am the humanities instructor at the Excel Center Decatur, as well as being a founding team member of that school. I have a master's degree in U.S. history, and I student taught at IUPUI while I was earning my teaching license and my degree. I've actually been off work since December when I had my son, and I've really enjoyed being at home with him. And I actually think that everyone should take 4 months off of work. It really does good for the soul. But I am excited to be back in the building and be back with my team members and with my students. So Mish asked me to add on to my intro what I love most about the Excel Center, and that is quite an easy answer, just the students. So I just think they are the most interesting people you will ever meet. And I love being a part of their journey and being able to help them with their accomplishments. All the hard work of the school year is more than worth it come graduation time, you know, twice a year when we get to see them cross the stage with such big smiles across their faces when they earn their diplomas. So, all right, Mish, let's go ahead and introduce our topic.
All right. Well, welcome to our Google Classroom. We are really excited about using this format to model how we envision the technology working for our dual credit courses. Rachel is going to explain the origins of our idea and then take you on a tour of the classroom and show you some of the ways that she has used the features in her class to make it a success. Then I'm going to show some background information and some data about dual credit courses and why we think that this is going to be a viable option for the Excel Center. So it's our hope that what we share today will eventually become a launching point for creating dual credit courses and expanding our course offerings throughout the network. So let me start off by asking, did everybody get the link to the Google Classroom? If not, I will be posting it right here in the chat. If you haven't opened it up, if you can please go ahead and do so. We're going to be working in this Google Classroom throughout the session. We're going to be updating it frequently. So please keep checking back on that, refreshing the page. If it is going to be helpful for you to make our Zoom faces into thumbnails and put it in the corner of your screen, that will be helpful. We are going to be doing some screen sharing, and we'll let you know when we're going to do that. Really, the best way we think to be able to address your needs and to keep the workshop flowing is to take questions to the Zoom chat feature during our session, and then at the end of the session, we're going to open it up for you guys to be able to unmute yourself and ask some questions. Before we go ahead and get started, is there anyone that is unfamiliar with some of the Zoom features like the chat or any of that?
Looks like we're all right.
All right, well, looks like we're ready to go. Rachel?
Okay, so Mish and I developed this topic during our 5th and final term of the year, a term that was 100% online and absolutely fraught with challenges. I'm sure almost all of us were there in that same situation.
Yes.
A major challenge we faced was that one of the graduation requirements for our seniors is that they complete an industry recognized certificate along with their Core 40 diploma. We had our seniors signed up and many were making progress, and then COVID-19. Many of the certifications were canceled, and many of our students who were mere centimeters away from earning their diplomas were seemingly unable to do so. The Indiana Department of Education, however, introduced an opportunity for seniors to complete their graduation requirements if they passed a dual credit class and earned 3 college credits. We jumped at this opportunity. In a matter of days, I created a syllabus and curriculum for a 4-week dual credit course. Mish and the coaching staff contacted students and worked to get them enrolled. 4 weeks later, we had 12 students who passed the class, completed their graduation requirements, and earned their high school diplomas. So really this made us think, how were we able to put together a dual credit class in a matter of days to ensure the success of our students, especially when the instructor, in this case me, was already teaching a full course load? What could we do to make dual credit accessible to more students if and when we went back to school, especially considering we have both students who attend during the day and nighttime? The answer, simplification from using online platforms, specifically Google Classroom. Realizing this, we built our objective, simplifying the creation of dual credit classes through the implementation of technology in order to expand access to a diverse group of students who had varying degrees of availability. Our goal, expand this objective across our network. How? Through collaboration. So Mish is going to first give us a brief education about dual credit and then highlight how collaboration within the Excel Center network could open up dual credit opportunities for all of our students.
All right, and Rachel, we do have a question in the chat box. If you can look at that and maybe help with that while I am opening this up. All right. Well, I'm going to be sharing my screen for just a few minutes. So for anyone who is new to the concept of dual credit, I want to take a minute to share some facts about that with you. Dual credit, as we're going to be defining it, is the ability to earn both high school and college credit in the same course. So in Indiana, the colleges and universities that are offering dual credit in their programming are Ball State, Indiana State, IU, IUPUI, Ivy Tech, Purdue, and Vincennes University. Providers are allowed to charge up to $25 per credit hour for tuition, but Ivy Tech subsidizes that, and so that allows the Excel centers throughout the network to be able to offer those courses free of charge to our students. Also in Indiana, there are 4 prerequisites or 4 criteria for courses to qualify as a dual credit course. The first one is prerequisites. They need to have a minimum of a 2.0 GPA, and then there will be some other prerequisite requirements, maybe a little bit higher GPA requirement for some courses. These will be published in the course catalogs for each university or college. That will allow the CCRs and coaches to determine which students fit best with which dual credit classes. If the student is not quite there at that 2.0, there are a couple of options. Ivy Tech offers the AccuPlacer test. At the moment, AccuPlacer, since it is a face-to-face test, is being put on hold until it is safe to resume due to the COVID closures. Thankfully, the Ivy Tech has been developing the Knowledge Assessment, which is an online course which assesses students' abilities in reading, writing, and math to see if they actually do meet the dual course criteria. This Knowledge Assessment is assigned by the Ivy Tech liaison, and it's taken concurrently with the dual credit course. And there are deadlines in which it has to be completed prior to the student actually earning that college credit. The other criteria are for course content and student learning outcomes. Both of these have to match exactly for the high school course and the college course. And then faculty credentials. Dual credit courses are typically taught at the high school by high school faculty, but they can be taught at the college by adjunct faculty as well. But regardless of where the course is being held, faculty needs to make sure that their credentialing requirements are the same as outlined by the State Department of Education and by the college and the university. So the current model has been for Indiana students to earn credits from Indiana colleges and universities. And this is primarily because each state has their own regulations for dual credit courses. So what does all of that mean for the Excel Center? Well, part of our mission as Goodwill is all about expanding our opportunities. So dual credit courses provide such opportunity. And here are a few fun facts about some of the students who earn dual credits. They're 70% more likely to go to college, 47% more likely to succeed in college. They're more likely to graduate college on time or early. Also, they have been shown to outperform non-dual credit earners in college readiness and even first-year performance. And they are more likely to earn a degree. I know one of the focus areas that we are looking at this year as an Excel Center is equity. And I wanted to highlight this graph right here for just a second and just kind of look at the incredible amount of growth and increase in some of the students, different student populations taking dual credit courses. In addition to allowing students to take the college courses for free, that is really exciting for us, but the other thing is it's exciting for the bottom dollar because in Indiana, there have been 500,000 dual credit classes awarded in 2016. That was the most recent statistics that I had found from the Department of Education. Also, that leads to a savings of $69 million in tuition. And so putting that on an individual level, that means about $4,000 to $5,000 savings per credential. In addition, we have the dual credit options are allowing the Excel Center to be more fiscally responsible in carrying out our mission. Student certifications can cost upwards to that $5,000. And so we want to just make sure that we are giving them options. One of the options is going to be dual credit classes. The state requires at least 3 dual credit classes in lieu of that certification. And so the neat thing about that is it's going to allow our students to get a jump start on their degree. And finally, the Excel Center is at the mercy of the State Department of Workforce Development. They put out a list of promoted industry certifications. This list changes annually, and occasionally some of the certifications that our students want are removed from that list. I know I have just recently learned that Serve Safe Food Manager is going to be removed from that list. And we have a lot of students who are interested in going into culinary or hospitality types of careers. And so that's going to really limit their their options. But we have some really great news coming out of Decatur, because one of our students just got approved, or one of our teachers just got approved to teach Hospitality 102 and Hospitality 105, which will go ahead and give those students the opportunity to get that jump start in the culinary program, but also then to graduate with dual credits as their option instead of that certification. One more fun tidbit is that since there are no limitations on how many college credits a student may earn while in high school, with the proper graduation planning and increased course offerings, some students may even be able to earn anywhere from just a few credits to actually an associate's degree while still at the Excel Center. So with all of these benefits, Rachel and I began to think, how could we take advantage of what we learned in term 5 and expand that, not just at Decatur, but as a network, and build an amazing and a rich dual credit program. Rachel and I posit that this could be accomplished through technology, and namely the Google Classroom. So at this time, I am going to go ahead and get back into the classroom. I am going to post a couple of questions for you. So
and if you don't see the questions, just click refresh on your screen.
Yes. All right, I have just posted the first one. And when you get in there, if you see the little comment section below the question, go ahead and comment on that. There's a little paper airplane symbol there for you to post it and get it back on its way to us so we can see your answers.
So this is just a guess. So within the 14 centers of GEI, how many dual credit classes do you think are offered? So we have Andrea saying 24.
Okay.
We have Kelly saying 10, Greta saying 7, Ray saying 15. Okay, good guesses.
All right. Well, I want to share with you some of the answers to those questions, because the answers were really quite astounding.
Well, let's do the top question, Mish. How many Excel Center faculties are licensed to teach? Any guesses?
All right. Let me share my screen and I will reveal that question.
Perfect. We see 2. We see 20. Nice.
All right. Well, the answer to that first one is we have 35 dual credit courses that we offer across the network. You can see some of them here. They are construction, carpentry, biology, business, management, chemistry. We have microcomputers, public speaking, criminology, early childhood. We have foundations in education, English composition, creative writing. We also have manufacturing and production, American history, basic food theory and baking, HVAC, refrigeration, electricity, logistics, quantitative reasoning, workplace safety, American government, psychology, sociology, Spanish, and welding. And so you can see there the long list that we have of courses. It's really exciting. Now the answer to that second question is we have 47 instructors across the network teaching these classes. So that is amazing. You can see the breakdown on this chart here of where the teachers are teaching these courses at. So I'm gonna go ahead and share that on this classroom. So if you wanted to look a little bit deeper at that data, you can, and so it will be there for you. All right, so with all of these options that we currently have, we believe that there are some really big benefits to using a format such as Google Classroom in teaching. The first one is going to be consistency and equity. We believe that Google Classroom allows every student to see and experience the same exact course and content, whether they're in the physical or the virtual classroom. The second being flexibility and stability, and meaning that all of the features provide an ease of use. So whether, again, you're in person or virtually, all the content is going to be in one place for students and for teachers. So it can be taken around with them wherever they need to go. Tasks like grading are going to be easy and can be done anywhere at any time. Third, accessibility, meaning both the ease of access, where we have Google Classroom being able to work on computer, laptop, tablet, even phone app, right? So students don't need to be in the same location. That is going to be great. We can have the work be synchronous or asynchronous, meeting over Zoom, meeting over Google Meet. It can be done 24/7, so it's perfect for those early birds, perfect for those night owls. But it's also accessibility, meaning it has a lot of universal design capabilities for special education and for English language learners already built in or readily available to enhance some of that course content. And then last, integration and ingenuity. Google integration makes it possible to use other features like YouTube, where we can embed those videos, email, where we can send out a mass email to our class as a whole, or just one-on-one with the students, the calendar, where we're posting assignments and due dates, Google Meet, where we can actually meet online, Jamboard, which is kind of a cool collaboration feature, and this is going to give us little to no extra efforts to make this happen. One of the neat features I'm going to talk about is how the Google Gradebook actually syncs with Synergy. So yay, that eliminates one task from teachers having to do that. So with all of this background and all these benefits that we've shared, we want to move on to using Google Classroom for Google Credit actually looks. So Rachel, are you ready to show us some of the features of Google Classroom and then demonstrate how you use some of them in your History 101 course?
Okay, I'm unmuted. Okay, yes, I would love to do that. But before we go exploring our Google Classroom, I first want to talk about where we are now with this project and where we want to go. Simplifying dual credit through technological platforms such as Google Classroom, Google Sheets, and Google Forms. Those are the three things we're going to discuss today. And collaborating throughout our network. We just heard from Mish. We have 47 instructors across our central and southern Indiana locations offering 35 dual credit classes, which is just amazing. Can increase student access to dual credit classes. So some goals that we have for this combination are: one, that the Excel Center students can complete Ivy Tech prereqs all within the Excel Center network, saving both time, money, and time, and also being a lot more comfortable, a much more comfortable setting for our students to take these upper level courses. Two, students can build higher level understanding and knowledge in areas that students may be interested in pursuing. So on top of completing their prerequisites all before leaving our building, if they're, for instance, interested in being an entrepreneur, they can take multiple business classes all before graduating. Three, we can expand access to dual credit courses across the network by offering courses at different times of the day, including in the evening. Four, we can expand access to dual credit courses across the network by offering courses that are entirely online. That's what we did this past term with great success. And finally, we can expand access by offering 4-week, 8-week, or 16-week courses, so ranging from half of a term to 1 term to 2 terms. So as of right now, our current focus is on expanding knowledge about Google platforms and working towards building dual credit classes. And we are doing that by emphasizing online materials for accessibility. But our future focus is on collaborating between centers to create some type of course projection for students who wish to pursue higher ed after the Excel Center. And we want to do this by creating a master dual credit course list that we can send out to CCRs across our network, and we can constantly update it. And then we also want to do this by working with instructors from other centers to build courses. So this is where we are and where we want to go. Now let's see what all Google Classroom has to offer and why we see it as such a viable simplification tool for dual credit. So how many of you all have experience with Google Classroom? Okay, a few of you, very nice. And we have some people who have a little bit of experience. That's perfect. So we've already shown you some cool features, but now we're going to take a look more in depth into the common features that will make simplification and collaboration a reality. So I will be sharing my screen as well as talking you through where to find things on your own screen. We are hoping that by the end of this session, you will feel confident in navigating the different parts of the classroom by yourself. So to begin with, let's talk about the stream. The stream is if you're thinking about your Google Classroom as a book, not a textbook because that's boring, but as a nice book, interesting, then the Google Stream is your title page, your cover page. You have your nice little header. Mish designed this for us where you can see the cartoon version of ourselves. You see the title of the class. This is your class code here. That's how people can join usually, although one of our students right now is having a bit of trouble, which I apologize for. This Meet link here, this is like Google's version of Zoom. So you could do all of your meetings with your classes. You could just do them through your classroom and never have to use Zoom ever, which I know a lot of us, including me, are probably ready for a break from Zoom. So this is your class stream. You can update this like we've been doing. So you're able to stay in contact with your students. It also allows, if you have a co-instructor, your co-instructor is able to type on this and contact your students and stay updated. As well as this over here, you have the upcoming. You see the upcoming where that says work that's due soon. At the very top of the stream page.
Excuse me, Rachel,
yeah.
your screen isn't being shared.
Oh no, I haven't shared it yet.
Okay, I'm sorry, I thought you said you were going to.
Yep, everyone should be on the dual credit, the stream so far, and then I'll share it. So you'll see at the top of your stream page, you'll see your chapters. You right now as students, you have 3 chapters. You have stream, classwork, and people, those tabs at the top. And then as an instructor, I have a 4th tab, which says grades, that takes you to the grade book. So now if everyone could click on the tab that says classwork, and now I'm going to share my screen and walk you through the classwork section of your Google Classroom, which is like your meat and potatoes. It's where all of your class content is, all the good stuff. So what you're seeing right now is that we're under the classwork tab. What Mish and I have done is we have built a Google Classroom for you to allow you to work off of this to build your own Google Classroom if you so choose to do that. So we have the Google Classroom information up here. We are going to go into these 2 things together. This is where all the data is. And then at the bottom, we have the Google helpful guides and videos. And if you would go through all of these, you could easily come up with a very, very nice, I'm going to mute someone. You could come up with your own Google Classroom. So what we see here is the classwork section. It is where all your class material is. So we see over here, you have the general layout of this section so that students can see where everything is and follow along. Usually it's laid out in a way that starts at the first day of class until the end of the class. So if we are looking at this, and if you are building your own Google Classroom after this session or during this week or whatever, what you need to look at is this. So the Google Classroom benefits and capabilities. So we already talked about the stream, but here's an example. So you see here, this is from my 4-week history class. This is the stream from that. And you see where I've updated my students. I've given them some good news. The good news after Monday, you'll be halfway done with this class. Over here, we see their upcoming assignments. And this is what I'm talking about with the tabs up here: stream, classwork, people, and grades. So that's how you get around your Google Classroom. The next part we're talking about right now, the classwork section, that is where you build your classes. So how you build your class is that you hit this create button right here, this black create button, and it gives you different options. You can upload material or a question. You can do a link. You can do a topic. So all of these are topics where it's bold and in bigger format. And then everything underneath here is either a question or material. So you build that all yourself. And so what I've shown, so this is the US History Part 2 class. And you can see Unit 1, Unit 2, and it goes all the way to Unit 5, where it's all accessible to your students. And you can, like right now, everything is posted. So if they wanted to take off and do everything by themselves, they could do that. But you can also delay it, or you can schedule the assignments so that they will take their time and you can teach as you're doing it. So this picture is just, I'm not sure where this is coming from, this red, but this picture is just a zoomed in version of the last picture where you can see exactly what you can put in here, the discussion questions, the reading materials. It's all links and videos and pictures. You can put anything from the internet into your Google Classroom. The next section is this people section. The people section is, again, this third tab up here, or your third chapter of your Google Classroom, if you want to look at it like that. So this shows instructors who's in your classroom. So here's all your students. And what's nice about this is that you can click one of your students' names, and it takes you straight into their inbox where you can send them an email, and it also takes you straight into their grade book. So you can be very easily aware of where your students are in your class, how they're doing. And then finally, we have 2 more forum posts, just because I know a lot of college classes have different forum post assignments. So they're very easy to set up. Students can reply to each other, and then the grading over here, it goes straight into your grade book, and then your grade book is synced with Synergy, which is great. So here's your grade book. This is what it looks like in Google Classroom. You can either type in your scores, you can have Google Classroom do it automatically, but what's good news is that it is automatically synced to Synergy, which is the platform we use for gradebook around here. It's automatically synced, and it is as easy as pressing 2 or 3 buttons. And what's even better is that we put a video down here for you and helpful guides and videos on how to sync your Google Classroom gradebook to Synergy. So now I'm going to give you your screen back, and I would like you to stay on this classwork page. The first thing that I would like you to do is just click on that create button at the top, that black button. Click on that and you'll see all the different things that you can add to your Google Classroom. Assignment, quiz assignment, question, material, reuse, post, or topic. So that's how you organize things. That's how you build your classroom. So what I want to focus on now is building that classroom, especially building the assessment tools. So I would like you to click on the topic that says Google Forms as assessment tools. So you're in there. So Google Forms is an excellent way to format assessments for your dual credit classes. And it's so good because it offers a lot of different assessment question styles like true or false, multiple choice, select all that apply, short answer, long answer, linear scale, grids, drop down. And it has a lot of other advantages of creating assessments, such as it allows instructors to streamline. You can make copies of previous assessments and have a template so you don't always have to reinvent the wheel, the thing we hate doing the most. You can set it so that it automatically grades assessments. The grades are automatically uploaded to the classroom's gradebook, which can then be synced to Synergy, and I kid you not, it's like a 3-button process. It's very, very simple if you use that process. And then it also allows for easy compilation of data and is linked to Google Sheets, allowing mastery data to be compared and analyzed. So I have your description here for you if you want to go back and read that. But what we are going to do now is that I would like you to click on that dual credit survey link. And Mish and I have organized a little pop quiz for you all. But what I would like you to do is to take that survey, take that little assessment, whatever you want to call it, whatever you feel more comfortable with, And then we're going to look at what Google Forms does with the data and how it will allow instructors to be very, very easily data-driven going forward. So everyone, please click on that dual credit survey, and then we'll give you about 5 minutes. So take your time, notice all the different styles of questions, and then we'll come back together as a group to look at the data. All right, so Kelly has submitted, Ray has submitted, very nice. Hannah, I answered your question in the chat if you check back. We have 9 respondees, very nice. Okay, we'll do 2 more minutes. Okay, so that is an example of Google Forms. You can see all the different questions that you can ask. And so it's a great way of collecting data. And what's really, really nice about it is what you will see in 1 second. So what I want you to do is click back on that dual credit survey icon that you press to take the survey. And it will come up with a screen that says, you've already responded. So when you see that screen, go to the bottom where it says see previous responses, and it will come up with all the responses. So we had 9 people fill it out. It will come up with all the responses from all 9 people, and you will be able to see, you'll be able to track mastery, you'll be able to compare your students to one another, anything like that. So it's really, really interesting, and it's more of a visual representation of the data than the next thing we're going to look at. So is everyone able to see all the little graphs and stuff that Forum's made for you? Okay, perfect. So if you would go back to Google Classroom, go back to the Google Classroom. Right now we're in Google Forms as assessment tools. Where I want you to go is Google Sheets for mastery data. That's the next thing that we're going to look at, is Google Sheets for mastery data. And what you will see, and I'm just going to share my screen for this. So what you will see is that Google Forms offered you all their nice little graphs. And it looks nice for people who like color and everything. And then if you go to Google Sheets is like Microsoft Excel. If you go here, here is all the same data that we took. I mean, all the same data from the quiz that everyone just took. Only it lines it up on a nice Excel sheet, allowing all of our mastery data to be easily learned from at a glance. It's more for our quantitative people, very math oriented right here. And what's so nice about this is that Google Sheets is automatically integrated to Google Forms. So very, very easy. And how you do that, you can just click on these. Well, I'll show you one moment. So how you do that is it really is just a one-step process. And I put the emblems right here. So you click here on this is your Google form. You just click on this right here and it happens. So it's very, very simple. Just another way that instructors can simplify dual credit. All right, Mish, take it away. And you're on mute. There you go.
Thank you. Sorry. All this technology. All right. So I want to go back to the classwork portion of the Google classwork tab of the Google Classroom. Throughout the session, we've been modeling just different features of the Google Classroom. I know Rachel has talked about it a little bit, but I wanted to show you where some of these things are going to be found for helping you in the future. We have the Google helpful guides and videos. So they are just some ways to learn about setting up the classroom, tips for how to clean it up at the end of the year, how to archive, how to set up the drive and use different features in it. Also, Rachel and I have set up this resource for dual credit. So if you want to get any information about some of the colleges that we had talked about, or even that report from the Indiana Commission for Higher Education, it is on here as well. So those are some tidbits that we're going to leave with you. This classroom will be able to remain with you if I can get my tongue to work for the duration. So you are welcome to come back and take a look at it anytime. And if you want to contact us with any questions or comments, please feel free to do so. Want to take just a second to review where we've been with this workshop. We talked about how this Google Classroom is going to allow us to simplify instruction through consistency, equity, flexibility, stability, accessibility, integration, and ingenuity. It's also going to allow us to collaborate with locations across town and hopefully across the country. It will also allow students and teachers to collaborate in making dual credit courses a viable option. So how do we apply all that we've proposed? Well, this session really is just the beginning, and we were hoping that it can be a way to continue our work with your help in creating an amazing dual credit program that all of our students can benefit from, no matter which location they attend physically. So now we invite you to check out our vision, and it is going to be posted on the Google Classroom stream. So if you want to go ahead and click on that tab and take a look at it, and then we're going to open it up to questions. I just keep thinking about how incredible it's going to be to sit in this conference next year and report about the collaboration that's happened, not just throughout Central and Southern Indiana, but with all of our locations in Arizona, Arkansas, Northern Indiana, Missouri, Tennessee, Texas, and Washington, D.C. as well. So thank you all for being wonderful students. And if you have any questions or comments, now is the time to unmute and ask them, or ask them in the Zoom chat, or even on the stream feature. If we don't get to them and you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us at any time.
Yeah, Ray.
Rhea from Kokomo. You guys actually got Google Classroom to sync with Synergy last term.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were told by IT it was turned off.
Oh, really? No,
Yeah, and we could never get it to work for any of our Google Classroom classes.
Okay. I'll have to make a note about that and ask IT. Yeah, we got
Well,
it to
and I
work.
might connect our Google Classroom expert with one of you guys just to see if maybe you guys may be able to help troubleshoot and see if she just did something wrong, but we never could get it to, and it was really, really frustrating.
Okay.
Well, I know that they did have some issues last term with it. I think they have worked out the kinks since then. So hopefully it will work. If not, we're happy to help out with that. Absolutely.
Okay.
I know Martha also had mentioned that she was having some issues with being able to answer questions on her cell phone. So we're gonna want to troubleshoot that with her as well, and try to figure that out. Anything else we can help you guys with?
Okay. I want to draw attention to Hannah's remark, or her question in the chat, because that is probably the most important question. So in Google Forms, when you are setting your Google form up for your assessment, you have to, in the settings, say collect student emails, or else you will get all of your assessments back and have no idea who it belongs to. And there's absolutely like no going back and figuring it out on the back end. So you have to be very, very, very deliberate. And you also, in the settings, if you choose to, you have to click to allow students to use emails other than just the school email or a .org email, or else they will have a lot of trouble. Well, if you don't click it, they won't be able to access anything, but you'll just have a lot of trouble. So you just have to be very, very deliberate when you're in the settings of all these things. Saves you a lot of time on the back side of things.
Yeah, that happened to me for the midterm, which was fun.
Oh, that's too bad.
I got it figured out though. The students were great, and they saved their writing samples, so bless them.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you all so very much for being such great students in our Google Classroom. It was a pleasure to have you all here, and look forward to collaborating with you more as we develop some of these dual credit options.
Thank you, ladies, so much for your presentation. I did just receive news that they're going to start the student panel at 12:10. It's listed as 12 in one spot and 12:15 in another, we've been told. So it looks like we're going to meet in the middle, and 12:10 will start the student panel. I did not get back to host. So ladies, when you close this out, will you just make sure you close it for everybody so the meeting is just adjourned?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you
All
all.
right. Thank you all.